this is the worst value, most dangerous PEV I own. And that's why I don't really recommend it, but I still really love the Onewheel Pint. What's up everyone, Jono here, and this will just be a bit more of a relaxed, casual video about the Onewheel, which I've owned for a bit over 2 years now. So my use cases are just short trips like this down to the beach and keeping it around 1 to 2 kilometers, because yeah, the battery can't really do much more than that. And sometimes the odd shopping trip, you just have to chuck it in the trolley. It does come with the grab handle, but it's not all that comfortable, so just in the trolley's fine. And then I just love how compact it is and nimble. It's perfect for these sorts of slow sort of paths, meandering. You just take it easy, and because of the large width of the tyre, you can just easily go stationary and pendulum in one spot. Really chill in that regard. So yeah, it's definitely the least safe PEV I own, and that I've had a couple crashes on it. And when I first owned it, I was going out at night with the headphones on, and yeah, and actually a mountain biker ran into the back of me and I flipped onto my back, stacked it pretty hard. Luckily I was on grass, hit my head, so I always wear a helmet now. And yeah, learned my lesson there. Another time I tried to go on a little trail and hit like a small bump. Yeah, flew off the front of it and landed on my wrist, so hurt my wrist there. G'day guys.
Hello.
Yeah, so I did originally buy the Demon Flex Meter wrist guards for this Onewheel, but I just consoled myself, because it's just very short trips and I'm going slow, and if I'm putting on the wrist guards every time, I'm just not going to want to use the Onewheel. So I've just accepted the risk and take it easy. And that's the biggest thing, because this is more of like a toy, so you do have to just really take it slow because of the weak motor. It's super easy to overpower. And I'm only lightweight, 65 kilograms, but I can still easily overpower this. And top speed's really shit at about 20, low 20 km/h, and so I don't even touch that top speed anymore, just ultra casual. Alright, so what are the features? Well, I'm getting around the 10 kilometer range on it, and that's with around 16 psi tyre pressure. I've opted to go a little bit down just so that I can get a bit more compliance over bumps, and that's just how I like to ride. If you go a bit higher pressure, then of course you can get a bit more range, but I'm not trying to get range on this thing. It's just yeah, just basically a toy. Between the e-scooter and the EUC, I don't really need it, so it's just for the joy of riding, and that's why I've kept it. So what about modifications that I've done to it? Well, with the initial excitement of the wheel, as you do, I went a bit crazy and I got some parts. So the important ones were definitely the charger cover and then the bearing seals to help protect the bearings. So I think those should be pretty mandatory. And then I also picked up the Tiger Blue lock so that I can lock it up, and that's been really handy because if I'm going down for a swim at the beach, then I have to be able to lock it up. I'm not carrying it onto the sand or something silly like that. And now originally I did have the fender on it, but I took it off because it was colliding with the Tiger lock, and that was just getting in the way. Plus I think it looks a bit cooler without the fender on it, so bit of vanity there, but we'll go with it. So besides the Flex Meter wrist guards, which I don't wear anymore, I did buy the finger bell for it, but I don't use that anymore. I'm not flying past pedestrians, I'm more just going with the flow of pedestrians, sort of like a jogger now. And yeah, I really can't recommend this with the prices in Australia. So uneconomical. So that's why I picked up this one second hand for only 1,200 Australian dollars from Brisbane City, and you know, even that seemed pretty steep at the time. But if you're going new, for example, the Pint X in Australia is $2,850. Holy shit! And then we have the announcement of the Pint S, and that's speculated at 2,600 Australian dollars. So if we compare that to the competitors in the EUC market, if we look at just a basic in-motion V8S, just more capable in every regard. It's got bigger tyre, more battery, more power, higher top speed, and it's a lot cheaper. So super hard to recommend a Onewheel in Australia in particular. Very high import tariffs, I imagine, or something. And for example, the GT was announced when I was buying this one, and it's got the Onewheel closed source problem of having to send it back to America for something as simple as a tyre change. So that really puts me off as well with the newer models. It really needs to be fixed. So that's why it's good to see some competitors such as the Float Wheel, much more open source with the Vesk. Didn't even end up using the rails. I had some plans to put some stickers on and protect it with the clear rails, but that never happened. So, well, one of the things I do love about it is that it's super low maintenance. It's basically nothing to do. Occasionally brush off the sand, check the tyre pressure, very rarely. It's just easy, super easy. And I've ridden it in the rain a couple of times. Pretty good water resistance, but you know, the biggest problem with it is, of course, the contact touchpad on the front, and we've seen all of those runaway issues in the launch of the newer Onewheels. So, you know, it's been fine with this Pint. Oh, so I nearly forgot the biggest addition, and of course, from Jimmy Chang's recommendation, is the Cush Nug High pads. That has been a really nice addition. I love the feel of the concave rear pad and extremely tough grip tape, very grippy, but if you do try and pinch the board and pick it up, it will rip your skin off. It's super aggressive, so that's a recommended. I forgot to mention one thing, and that's the learning curve. So I come from a background of you know, surfing, wakeboarding, and particularly snowboarding, and that's one of the big draws, as they say. It's a bit like carving on a snowboard. So it was extremely easy for me to learn this. It's like a couple minutes, pretty much immediately. It just self-balances side to side, so I found it so much easier than an electric unicycle. So probably a pretty easy one to get into, but yeah, the most dangerous at the same time. Alright guys, that wraps it up. Ride safe, and I'll catch you next time.